Hello everyone, it's that time again, 2017, Melvin's Kitchen. We're getting ready to make white chocolate fruit blondies. Some of you have had them before. This is the new and improved 2017 white chocolate fruit blondies out of my favorite recipe booklet. And I'm going to add walnuts to 1/2 of the dish. We're going to test the waters and see how it works out. Now, I'll show you bits and pieces throughout the recipe. It always calls for nice, crisp, and fresh raspberries. My assistant is asking for raspberries, but no can do. These are for the dessert. Maybe I'll spare like 2 or 3 raspberries, possibly. But for right now, these are for my dessert. Fresh raspberries, fresh blueberries, and maybe I'll try one of these raspberries to see. Make sure you get nice and firm raspberries. And for anyone who saw my last video, this is my favorite brown cooking shirt, so don't worry. I have many brown shirts, but focus on the dessert, not the shirt, okay? Now, there's many components to this dessert. We have a cup of hot butter, and I mean hot butter, melted in the microwave, so be careful. And with that hot butter, we will put the white chocolate morsels in there, and this is going to form its own mix. You've seen it before, now you can see it again. Make sure you have a separate bowl just for that, and you want to mix these white chocolate morsels around in this hot butter, and that's going to form a nice little puree. Call it whatever you want. Call it white butter. That's going to give you your white butter, and it's going to be delicious. Always strain your sugar to avoid clumps. So here we go. Strain it. This is the white sugar. The brown sugar does not strain as nicely, but in here, show you what the straining does. All of these are unwanted little sugar crystals, okay? You don't want those inside of your dessert. You want every bite to be moist and delicious, not full of rock salt type sugar. Make a note of that. In the frame, I will slide down so make sure you can see me. The brown sugar, the consistency is kind of moist, unlike the dry white sugar. So with the brown sugar, you're going to have to make sure your hands are clean, and you're going to have to just scoop it out a handful at a time and kind of run it through your fingers, make sure there's no clumps in there, because you do not want clumps in your dessert, at least I do not. So keep on doing it until you get all of the brown sugar done. My recipe, I'm trying to think of a way to give you my recipe without giving away too much, because I don't mind if you have my recipe. I'd love to try it sometimes through someone else's lens. Let's see here. I'm going to put it somewhere so you can pull it down. And I'm not sure how low my camera is set, but that's the brown sugar. 1.5 cups of brown sugar. We're going to mix our, I'm limited on pans. This dessert requires a lot of pans, so this is the 1/2 cup of white sugar. And I'll mix these together to form the perfect blend of sweetness, because brown sugar is not that sweet, at least not in a dessert. We have the mix of white and brown sugar. I have my handy dandy assistant behind the camera, so I should be flawless now. I'm not sure if you can see that. Can you see that, assistant? Okay. This is the white and the brown that I mixed together, but what happened was the brown became to clump up a little bit. So what I'm doing is taking this and sifting this. This is above and beyond, if you will. Above and beyond, but this dessert is going to be flawless, okay? So, at home, you all may not choose to follow my process, but if you do, below you will have the most well-blended white-brown sugar, 80-20, 80 brown, 20 white mix. I decided to jump in here real fast. Now, I almost made a mistake here. Here is the sifted flour, but it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And that's why you have to read the recipe thoroughly. Because unless you're like Chef Gordon Ramsay and you know exactly every recipe to the T, read the recipe. That way you can serve your dessert with confidence. So now I have my half a teaspoon of baking powder, not baking soda. You have to really, really read it. They're different. So this one calls for baking powder. And I'm going to sift it with my nice little sifter. Get it thoroughly mixed up in there. I hope you can see that. And now my dessert will rise properly. Okay, I hope you all can see. I don't have my lighting candle with me right now, so I'm going to grease this pan really nicely, really fast. So I spared you some of the details, because you can look up the old previous dessert. But this one, see the consistency? It kind of looks like toffee or peanut butter pudding or whatnot. But we're just going to pour this down into the pan. You may not be able to see the pan, but you can see it going in there, and I'll show you the pan in just a moment. But this is the consistency of it. It's very smooth. You want to make sure it's not grainy. And I gave it the taste test, and it tastes just perfect, as always. And I tell you what I did. I created a website. So if you really want a copy of this dessert, I'll give you the email. You can email me. I'll give you a copy of it. And it's not my regular email. It's the email specifically for this recipe. So that way, in case we get the kind of different people who like to send kind of different messages, it won't go to my regular email. But I will check this one. All right. Now, you can see that. We're going to spread that evenly around the pan here. All in the corners. Because this is actually going to rise very nicely. So you get it spread up in the corners. And the reason I'm making this is because I'm adding walnuts to it this time. So if you want the recipe, you send me an email, and then you just add walnuts, because walnuts are not in this original recipe. And I doubt very seriously if you'll find this recipe, because I've had it for about 7 years now and I have yet to see it in any magazine. So have that down there. We're going to start out only one side. We have some chopped walnuts, nice chopped walnuts, and I believe I'll take like a handful of chopped walnuts and we'll just sprinkle it on one side. Some people don't like nuts, some people are allergic to nuts, I don't know. But I would like to try something different here today. So just enough, and I'll give you a little view of it. Just enough on one side, some chopped walnuts. Now time for the fun part. I'm going to take these nice fresh red raspberries. We're going to sprinkle them over here, as we always do. My assistant ate a few of them, but we have enough for the dessert to make it go nicely. And she may be in luck. Well, maybe not. I thought she would have some extra ones, but maybe not. So bear with me here while I spread these raspberries around. And in addition to the raspberries, you need some nice blueberries. We'll spread those nicely. No particular pattern, because as it rises, they'll go wherever they wish. Let's see here. I think we're good to go. Make sure you peel the stems off the blueberries. You don't want that. My hands are clean. Man, 10 minutes goes by very fast. Okay, so what we have here is white chocolate fruit blondies. Before they're baked, as they bake, the dough will rise up in the crevices of the blueberries and raspberries. It will be a very tasteful dessert with walnuts added now. So the email is kairobp@yahoo.com. That's Kairo, B as in better, P as in person. kairobp@yahoo.com. If you'd like a copy of the white chocolate fruit blondies with walnuts now. Until next time, enjoy yourself.